So my name is Greg Taylor. I'm the founder of Impact Matters, and it's a strategic marketing and consulting company with a real passion for advocacy around homelessness and solving the problem in Canada around homeless shelters. So the vision behind It's Possible Foundation is it kind of woke up over time. You know, I grew up in Canada, and it was always kind of the Canadian dream. You start in you grow up, you go to school, you end up buying a house, you settle down, and start a family, and you have a good retirement. And I became aware over the last couple of years that that was not necessarily what a lot of people were experiencing as I was going into work, and we were talking with people that were either new immigrants to Canada or were coming up, and particularly living in Toronto or some of these high expensive areas. And we kind of began to think about, well, how do people actually afford to buy houses? And we looked at rental strategies, we looked at all kinds of things, but really that idea of the economic stability and the hope that's created by someone being able to actually buy and own a house is really, really a powerful motivator. So some of the challenges that people face in qualifying for a mortgage, I always tell the story of one of my nieces who bought a house out Western Canada, and not a problem at all. They were able to afford a house. But when you look at places like Toronto or Vancouver, some of these really high valued markets, the issue really becomes you can make a really good income, but you still cannot qualify for a house. And when you look at the statistics, whether it's York Region or the city of Toronto, even renting today becomes a real challenge for a lot of people. If you have a family or you're immigrating to the country with a family, trying to afford to buy a house becomes a real issue because of just the cost of the homes. So It's Possible works with investors, and we come alongside these people that are looking to own a house, and it's really what I like to call an end-to-end service strategy. And what that means is we come alongside that family that's looking to buy a house. You qualify through the program, and then we go to investors, raise the capital to buy the house. We provide you with a mortgage that's pre-approved, and then you go out to the real estate agents in the community in which you live. And I always like to say a place that's geographically close to where you want to live or where you work, because we talk lots about all the issues with commuting today, and being able to live geographically close to where you work and where you want to actually build community and build your life is really important. And so this program, because of how it's structured, allows you to do that. So once you've found your real estate agent, you find the house that you want, then we issue the mortgage for the people. They move into that house, and then we have a service company that comes alongside and helps and supports the family throughout the term of that mortgage. And that's a really important component, because we want to make sure that the people that are living in the houses have the opportunity to maximize the equity that's being built into the house, both for themselves, for when they decide to sell it, as well as for the investors that are investing in it. And there's a lot of technology that we wrap around that to make sure that it's efficient and it's easy to use. The impact that we've seen from the foundation is, we're just starting out, and the organization is in the piloting phase. One of the things that has been really, I think, heartwarming and surprising, probably more than anything, is as we begin to talk to people about the fact that they could actually buy a house, to see the hope come back into people's eyes. And I remember very early on, as we were beginning to talk about this, I was talking with a lady and at a restaurant, and we were talking about just the fact that we could actually provide a mortgage for someone like her to buy a house. She opened up her phone, went to the real estate app, and started to look for a house again. And you could see the hope come back into people's eyes. And when we talk to people, they get it. And then the interesting thing is we called it It's Possible, not by choice, but simply because we played with so many different financial models, and we came up with a financial model that we're sharing with people. And they'll often say, you can't do this, but then they always come back and say, it's actually possible, you can do this. And so while it was our working name as we were coming through the development of it, it really became kind of the underlying name that we decided to call it. So it's Possible Foundation, because it is possible today through this program to actually own a house. I am humbled by just the tremendous team of people that have come around it, from the board of directors to the team that we've got working on the technology components and the different service aspects of that, the team that we're starting to wrap around, and the types of people that are getting behind the program is really exciting. And one of the business partners, he talks in grandiose terms about being able to transform Canada's middle class. And I really you see the hope in people, you see the hope as we talk to different organizations around what we could do, and that ability to help a lot of people get into home ownership, and the benefits that come as a result of home ownership are tremendous. As for changes in the housing market, one of the things that we talk lots about is we're not looking to the governments to raise money, to raise finances. We're not looking for debt financing. What we really want is the average Canadian, the average investor, those people that, they want to get behind a program that could actually help people, whether it's through providing an investment. It's a very, very simple process just to connect with us, and that's kind of the components that we're looking for. I think probably the biggest change, if I'm thinking about it, is there an opportunity to do some stuff around legislation, around capital gains tax, for instance, and using that very important vehicle, particularly as we think about the great wealth transfer that's coming as people my age begin to retire and give their assets to their kids, that ability to transfer some of those assets and create an incentive for more affordable housing solutions. From an It's Possible Foundation, it's one solution. There's so many other good solutions out there, and home ownership is one solution of many, from whether it's affordable rentals, whether it's building up, constructing new facilities. It's Possible Foundation found that there was a whole unmet need of people who work every day, whether they're nurses, they work at the hospital, or they're regular people going to jobs that need a stable place to live. And our hope with It's Possible Foundation is that they can come along, they can buy a house, and then they can get some stability into their life, and they don't have to worry about being rent evicted or moved on to another location simply because the dynamics are changing. One of the things that It's Possible Foundation, as we've done the research and we've been looking around, we're finding that a lot of people are paying rent that is really, really high, and it's almost equal to what the value of a mortgage payment would be. And that's really where, when you think about people qualifying for a mortgage today to buy a house that is in some of the locations in the GTA, the cost of that house precludes them simply from doing that. So through It's Possible, we're able to actually provide a mortgage to that family, so at the same rate that they're paying for rent, they can actually buy their own house. People who are interested in supporting us or getting involved with It's Possible, there's a couple of ways. We're going for our charitable status. We have not received that yet, but that is the goal, so you can make a donation to It's Possible. We need lots of volunteer support, particularly as we're starting to launch these pilots here in the next couple of months. And those volunteer supports are around providing service support. So if you're a handy kind of an individual and you know how to maintain yards or take care of properties, we need people who can come alongside these families that are buying homes and help them with that. Also, if you're an investor and you've got some money and you're thinking about, hey, how do I help the local community in which I live? Get in touch with us, because we're happy to talk to you about how you can invest to make this a success. And if you're wondering yourself, is this really too good to be true? Could it possibly be that I, as a hardworking individual, could actually own my own house? The answer is yes. Give us a call, connect with us through our website. We'd be happy to talk you through the process and get you engaged in the right programs.